Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday once again.
We're back once again. Yeah, we are. Guys, big update alert. If you were here last week, you know. We went to the premiere of Hurry Up Tomorrow.
We did.
The Weeknd's new movie.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah, give your rating out of 10.
Okay. I kind of want to give it like an 8.
Yeah. I was going to say 8.
Okay, yeah.
I loved it. People are hating it. I see the hate, but I'm like, you guys just didn't vibe. Because it was a great movie, honestly.
You guys just didn't vibe.
You guys just didn't catch the vibe that he was putting out there. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was expecting really with the movie, but it wasn't what happened. So I love when that happens for me.
I know. No, I feel that.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. Mm-hmm. Love Abel. He killed it. I mean, can he really act? Sorry, Abel. I don't know. Not great.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. No. I mean, did you think?
I don't know. I thought it was good. I don't know. You know what I kept noticing somehow? When he would be singing on stage, or like when they did that little music video clip, I don't know what, I could tell that he was lip syncing.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean.
Like that's
what I'm
part.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like the way that you can tell is like, I'm sorry.
But I mean,
but that's fine. You can't do it all, baby. You're an amazing singer, amazing entertainer.
Exactly.
It's fine. Sorry. Still love you. But yeah, I really liked it. And I also, personally, without Savannah, went and saw Final Destination Bloodlines in 4DX, which is like the moving seats and stuff.
The table's moving.
Oh, throwback to our first video episode. You guys didn't see it. We cut it out. But full transparency, after we recorded, we were, still sitting here, wrapping up. And it was this table is like secure.
Yeah,
let me knock on some wood,
it's
actually.
Different. I know.
In case. But the other one had a line down the middle, and if you're watching the video, it's swooped down in half.
It gave me a little PTSD when this table started moving. But
earthquake. It's like Freaky Friday.
Careful with it.
But no, anyway, Final Destination.
That's honestly giving Final Destination.
No, I was just gonna say I don't even like that that started.
Yeah, so
I will say everybody needs to go see that movie. I'm even saying Savannah needs to go see that movie. We have free movies, so there's honestly no excuse. I'll see it again.
I guess. I don't know. I just
you don't need to see
the other
ones.
Not my.
Yeah, but this is like more funny. Like you know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Everybody always knows what's gonna happen. Like it's Final Destination. Yeah. But like it's funny. Mm-hmm. It was so good, and 10 out of 10. If you can see it in 4D, I definitely recommend. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but one final update we did have for the people. We went to the Greek festival.
Oh yeah. See, you're updating everyone. Why did I forget everything we did?
I don't know what we were doing. She said, I'm just here.
I know. Yeah, we had a little Greek festival in the city this past weekend.
We were eating some good food.
Does the Greek festival, is that in, a lot of different cities?
Yeah. I think it was, I think they were all last weekend. At least I saw the one in Wilmington and in Winston were both last weekend. Yeah. So I think.
It's just throughout North Carolina? I don't even.
Well, I guess, I don't know. Let us know.
Maybe with the Greek, it's with the Greek Orthodox Church. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. And they had such good food. Seriously, it was so good. Mm-hmm. But I will have to unfortunately say, I did go there for the hummus. And they were out of hummus. And that broke my heart.
I know.
Because if you know me, hummus is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But, next year, I guess we'll try again for the hummus. Because it was really good. And it was such a vibe. They had music and dancers, and it was so.
I know.
Everybody was
really
happy.
Cute. Yeah, seriously though. Everybody working there was it was like a community. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's the church, but it's just, I loved it.
It was so fun.
It was such a vibe.
Mm-hmm. And the weather was great. It was beautiful sunset. 10 out of 10.
I know.
Yeah, and it's crazy because there were 2 festivals, food festivals in town this past weekend. Yep. The other one, it was called Dream Asia. Mm-hmm. And we actually were planning on going to that, and then it got sold out. Yeah. So then we couldn't get tickets.
See, you might have seen I don't know if everybody's been seeing it, but I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about it, saying how crowded it was and how like
people waited for like 4 hours. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm glad it was.
We didn't go.
Yeah, I'm glad it was sold out and that we couldn't go, because we even had to wait for like, I don't really know how long the Greek festival. It was definitely not 4 hours.
No.
It was maybe like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah,
but it was still a long wait, and we were very impatient, but only because we were hangry, okay?
Yeah.
Like, sorry. But, yeah, it could not have been me at the 4 hours
wait.
No. So.
That was
But I heard the food was good, at least. It was just a long wait. So.
I think it was just because I heard that it was oversold, basically, because they sold out online, but then at the door, they did not even keep track of how many people. Oh, so they were just letting anybody in, yeah. So that's what it was.
Yikes.
So, I know. Can't be doing that.
No, can't. That's crazy. Well, this weekend, apparently, there's a food truck festival coming. Ooh. And so I might have to
Might need to go.
Might need to go to that.
I love a food truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We also, we did have our first pool day, too.
Oh, we did? Because, wow. We've been doing a lot.
I know. My parents, their pool is open, and it was so fun. It was actually cold, but whatever.
It wasn't honestly that cold. I've taken
and actually
way colder places.
Right after we had our pool day, I came back and was watching Desperate Housewives, and I was on a Halloween episode, and it just made me think like we need like a summerween day.
We definitely need a summerween.
Like I feel like that would be so fun. But anyway,
like Halloween Town out there in the
pool? It's like Halloween, but also pool day. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen.
Like we're gonna do it.
We're gonna make that happen. Write that down, Parm. Yeah. Immediately. Well, before we get into our stories, if you don't mind, please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yes. And if you're watching the video, especially, we need to pull the tarot of the week.
Okay.
Savannah.
Tarot of the week. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to know. We are new-ish tarot readers, so
listen,
we're looking at the book.
We've done this a few times already.
I know, but just for the new people tuning in, we're reading off the book of what it says.
No, you're right. We are still reading off the book.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll know it one day. But I'm excited to know for this week. I'm feeling something positive. I'm feeling it. Ooh. Love the ASMR. Wait, let me get
I know. I hope these people. Okay.
Thanks.
I hope everyone listening actually likes the sound of the cards.
Well, they don't have to listen to it long, honestly. Ooh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Let's just go for it. The 5 of Wands.
Okay, the 5 of Wands. Oh, like right side up?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Oh no, what?
So the 5 of Wands, this card means conflict, disagreement, resistance, and competition.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, yes. So the wands, like the cards in general, the suit, they mirror your consciousness and gives you insight into like the core of what you are. And so, yeah, it says that this card urges you to take action in situations that arise in your life. So, you know, if you're experiencing some conflict or disagreement or competition, you know, I think it's just saying like, let's change that.
Okay. So what did it say? Take action?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily just you have to fight someone.
Yeah, I think it's saying like you're experiencing already like conflict and disagreement and competition. Right. And you need to take action with that to change it. I think that's what it's saying.
Okay, stand up for yourself a little bit.
Stand up for yourself. You know, that's a great lesson all the time.
Yeah.
Also. Because stand up for yourself. Period. Love that. 5 of Wands. I really don't know a lot about the Wands cards, I will say.
Yeah.
Crazy. We'll have to learn more. But, anywho, that was a tarot of the week. Anyway, Savannah, if you want to get into your story.
Okay. So, this week, we are getting into some like alien stuff. Okay, we're getting back into the aliens.
Somebody bring the balloon.
I know. I should have gotten out a mask or something.
Yeah,
I know you have something.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's here in spirit.
Exactly. So this one, I really don't even have like a title for you or anything. I guess I kind of do. K2-18B is what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, it sounds like R2-D2.
Right. Okay, so basically, did we discover aliens in a faraway exoplanet?
I mean, possibly. Did we? You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. So, an exoplanet. First of all, what is that? You know?
It's giving baby planet. Not big enough to be planet?
Not quite.
Said no.
It's actually a planet that orbits a sun outside of our solar system.
Oh. So it's just a planet that's not our planet.
Yeah, so okay. It's exo, so outside of our solar
Obviously,
system.
Let's use context clues, Taylor.
Yeah. So, you know, our planets, we have, you know, names for them and everything, but this one, they kind of just named it with numbers and letters, I guess. So that's why this planet is called K2-18B.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Makes sense.
And this planet is a potentially habitable planet. So it could be, you could habit.
Yeah.
It's orbiting a red star in the constellation Leo.
Oh, period. That's me.
Exactly. And guess how far it is from Earth?
I don't know. I was going to ask.
In light years.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I don't even know what's far light years. So I'm going to say 200 light years.
Okay. 124.
Oh, I'm close. Look at me. That's a lot of light years.
Yeah. 124 light years from Earth. And so its sun is the red dwarf planet, or the red dwarf sun K2-18. And that's why this one's K2-18B.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
This planet is about 2.6 times the radius of Earth.
Oh,
so it's bigger.
It's double?
Yeah, it's bigger.
Oh, wow.
And it has a 33-day orbit around the sun.
Okay.
Instead of, you know, ours 365.
Yeah, that's fast.
So
their years are quick.
It's going, yeah, exactly. Their years are like a month.
Wow. We would be very old if our years were a month.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad it's just years.
Okay, but
I mean, I know it doesn't work like that. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying, maybe theoretically.
If our years were shorter, we would, I wonder if we would measure it in a different way, though.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Or we would just be 100.
Right, like 362 months old, yeah.
Okay, so there are hints that this planet may have a vast, warm ocean and possibly have life thriving on it. So,
okay.
We don't know for sure, but I'm going to get into the science of it here.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Wait, how do we know?
Yeah. So in 2019, actually, the presence of water vapor was reported in the planet's atmosphere. So I don't know if you remember that, but I do kind of remember that.
Okay, yeah,
it's the same planet.
Because I remember them finding water on just a planet.
Yes.
But I didn't know. Okay,
yeah, because there is actually more that was found recently, but in 2019, there was the presence of water vapor was found. So more recently, meaning literally a couple weeks ago, like last month, in April.
2025?
Yes.
April 2025. Recent. As recent as it can really get.
Yeah. So recently, a University of Cambridge-led study was published on April 17th of this year.
Oh, wow.
And scientists reported the detection of possible signs of life in the planet's atmosphere.
Oh, wow.
So.
Oh, wow. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. I guess the question is, why isn't this a bigger story? What do you mean?
Well, I'll get into why it's not a bigger story.
Okay.
But honestly,
That's a crazy headline.
I know. I know.
Like, okay, all right.
Because actually, though, like, it does kind of suck that it's so far away because there's not really any way for us to get there ever. So.
Okay. Hey, sharks. We gotta create a radio. We gotta create a radio.
Honestly.
Like, we gotta talk to them. We're gonna get on that.
How would we get another one there for them to communicate with us? Or just saying, somebody try to see if they have technology that we can connect to.
I know that you're going to tell us how we know this information, but like if they're having if they can see that there's water, and they can see that there's allegedly life in some way, shape, or form here, I feel like there's got to be a way for us to talk to them. Like maybe we just haven't figured it out. It's only been a month.
I mean, yeah. Okay, let's just get into it.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Okay. So I did say the atmosphere because really all they can see is the atmosphere. And they didn't actually it's not like they're taking samples or anything. They're like looking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is all just from
a picture.
Them
or a telescope or something?
Yes. So they're studying using the James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh, that's crazy. That we have a telescope that can see?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
wow.
I don't know how it works. I'm being so real. It's crazy.
Beyond us.
But there is this telescope that can, see that far into space and
that's so cool.
See this kind of stuff. So the scientists in this study, they do say that it's the most promising evidence yet of life beyond Earth. So that's really cool.
Hold up. We're solving the Fermi paradox here, guys.
Maybe. Okay.
Allegedly.
Possibly. Because it's still early. It literally just came out. We don't know. The telescope uses infrared instruments to hunt for chemical signs of life.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like putting out signals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it isn't the same as a regular telescope.
I was going to say, I think theoretically they just have 1 million light year zoom,
Kind of, but it's using infrared stuff.
That still makes sense. It's that's how I imagine them. It's just night vision. Because it's space, also it's dark.
Yeah.
So it kind of, low-key needs to be infrared to see.
True.
In my head, that makes sense at least.
No,
the one thing about this that does make sense in my head.
Maybe.
And maybe that's not right at all, but that's how I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so they use infrared and they look for biosignatures, which
just just means in Ghost Adventures.
Exactly. Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
Perfect.
So just looking for any sign of life that they can find, right? And they look in the atmosphere because that is what you can, get to first when you're putting these infrared beams out, That's, the atmosphere. So they're looking at the atmosphere, and that's where they found the water originally. And now they are finding other things. So.
Oh, wait, the water was in the atmosphere, like rain, essentially?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. If you think about it, think about roles reversed. They're looking at us.
Yeah.
From their planet way over there.
Yeah.
They would also see our atmosphere first before they ever saw humans.
Yeah.
Because we're on the ground. So,
yeah.
It's hard, but it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So this telescope, it maps how starlight is absorbed or re-emitted by molecules in the atmosphere.
Wow.
So it basically all this scientific stuff is just how they can kind of figure this out. And so the light that goes into it, it's called spectra, and this can reveal the composition of the planet's atmosphere and give clues about what's on the surface of the planet. So we're gathering data about the atmosphere, and then that's what's used to sort of guess okay, this could be on the planet's surface.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say telescope, you think, oh, just look inside it and you see how we use a regular telescope. It's not the same kind of telescope. But
now I'm thinking of it kind of like you're looking into a laser pointer.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, the way I just explained all of it, but do I really get it? Kind of.
Yeah.
It just, it has to do with light.
Yeah, they're shooting light like a laser pointer. They're like shooting light out to see.
Like to see what comes back.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyways, that's kind of how the telescope works a little bit. But this telescope was able to pick up on some things that we didn't see before.
Ooh, tea.
So they found traces of 2 sulfur-based molecules.
I don't really necessarily know what that means. The only thing I do know is that sulfur smells bad.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it means. I'll tell you. So the molecules are dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide. So they found traces of these in the atmosphere of this planet. Mm-hmm. And these compounds are only known to be produced by microscopic forms of life, like phytoplankton.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. That is actually huge.
So, yeah. So this really means something because the scientists, they're basically saying, like, if it could be produced by something else, we don't know about it. Like, it's definitely a sign of life.
That's crazy.
At least on Earth, you know, like, so if something else more natural, like a tree or, you know, a plant or something can emit it on this other planet, like, they don't know about it, but they're like, yeah, on Earth, the only thing that can produce it is like these phytoplankton.
That is actually so shocking.
Which I shouldn't have said a tree, because even a tree would be amazing to see. I guess they mean more like natural mechanisms, like from the ground or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What? But
that's crazy.
But they're like, yeah, no real natural mechanisms like produce these. So they're like, yeah, we're pretty sure there's something there.
That's like really crazy. Also because I mean, we obviously don't know if it is similar, like if the actual planet is similar to Earth. But if you look at it like Earth, like the one thing that has survived the whole time that the Earth has been here is the phytoplankton.
Yeah, see? They're very resilient.
Like from the dinosaurs to from literally before the dinosaurs to after to now. That's like the one thing that exists.
Yeah.
Even here. So that is actually so crazy. And I definitely heard this story like vaguely. But I never heard, like, the evidence of, like, what it was that they saw. Like, obviously, I knew it wasn't, like, oh, we found a little alien boy. But, like, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm actually shook.
I know. So, there were earlier observations made by the same team using 2 different of these telescope instruments in 2023. And they reported possible traces of dimethyl sulfide in the planet's atmosphere. So they saw it in 2023.
Okay, so they did know about it before too. Yeah. That's really crazy.
Yeah. So all of this, you know, is coming to light. They released this study and everything, but there's some talk in the scientific field about this. A lot of scientists are actually pushing back on this, and they say that there's reasons to be skeptical about it. So they're like, don't be saying that there's aliens just yet, okay?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big statement, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. So actually, one astrobiologist at the University of Arizona even said it's almost certainly not life.
Okay, well, I feel like you can't say that.
I know. Like, I don't know about almost certainly not. Like, I mean, I guess I'm not an astrobiologist, but, like,
I mean, you certainly can't say it's almost certainly not life. Right. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
But, I mean, yeah, you also can't really say it certainly is life. But I would argue you can't argue either way.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, does he say why? Like, is there, like, like, there's no, like, oh, science says this. They're just like, no.
They all it really said was, like, no.
I mean, I do agree. Sure I agree with their skepticism to be like, this is a really big, like, this is, like, the boldest statement one could make.
Yeah.
Because it would actually serve, no. What's the word I'm looking for? It would solve the Fermi paradox.
I know, it would change question. Like, a lot.
I mean, yeah, it would change science, like, as we know it. So, like, I understand why the scientists are like, hold the horses.
Yeah.
But also, You don't know.
I know.
And I mean, to me, it sounded like maybe.
I know. And okay, so I don't know. From what I read, it seems like there's a really big chance that this is correct because from what I saw, there is a 0.3% probability that the signals occurred by chance. That's a low probability.
Yeah.
Like
that's a very 0.3?
0.3, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very low. Very low. I mean, yeah.
And other researchers have attempted to recreate the findings but could not do it.
Wait, so but didn't they from 2023?
It's the same group.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought you meant that there was two different ones.
The same group of the same team. Mm-hmm. They found it twice.
Yeah.
So it's like fair. It is like in science you do unfortunately need to have multiple sources. You know, you can't just
definitely a new story though. Just it's 1 month old. Like, they're definitely still working. Mm-hmm. We can't discredit them as of yet, I would say. Yeah. You know?
I mean, definitely more observations and more studies need to be done to bring, like, clarity to this. And, like, sort of,
Let's run the, whatever you called it. Let's run it again.
Yeah, run it again.
The light, the telescope, whatever it was called.
Yeah. The
hub.
The James Webb Space Telescope.
Webb. That's what it is. Yeah. The James Webb.
Yep. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. I think it's really interesting because for some reason back, when I was younger and didn't really think about aliens scientifically, like you start to think about aliens and you're like, okay, like they would be on a planet that's totally different from ours. But if they're finding water and like these methane molecules, then maybe it's very similar to Earth. I don't know. Like, And
I mean, that's the theory that we're working with currently, like with our knowledge as human beings, that the only way, at least in our studies and findings, the only way for there to be life on other planets is if it's similar to ours. Because we have other planets that are not similar to ours and nothing lives on it. There's no life on any other planet that we know of.
Yeah.
And it's because they're all different from our planet. Because we don't really have one that's similar to Earth that we could know, that's close. So, I mean...
I know.
I want to see that telescope. I want to... Yeah. We'll post a picture of it. Because I'm very curious to see. I'm assuming that it's big boy. Big.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, let's see it.
Look how big it is.
Oh, honey. It is huge. It actually looks like that device from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, it's huge. And because it does look like it's like shooting out rays of infrared,
That is a crazy device. I can't believe that exists. Wow.
How do people figure this stuff out?
Right. Applause to the scientists out there because
for real.
Like even if this finds nothing in the end, that's crazy that they found that, like even if it turns out like, oh, it's not life, that's crazy.
I know.
Wow.
But anyway, that is planet K2-18B.
Guys, if you're from planet K2-18B, let us know.
They probably call something different.
If you're out there,
what do you think they call it?
I don't know what language they speak. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I couldn't even begin. It would just be offensive to the aliens out there even. But if I was going to make it, I'd be like Lady Glitter Sparkles, like from whatever that movie is. But yeah, that's a really crazy
from,
story.
Trolls or something? What's that from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trolls. Yeah. Trolls. Yeah. Oh I wasn't going to get into the troll lore because I just could not remember. Couldn't think of the word troll.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Well, let's move on to yours.
Moving on. This week.
I don't know how we're going to move on from that, but we're going to.
No. Like, you just literally told me there's life on other planets.
I know.
Anyway.
The existential crisis.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess. This week, Savannah brought you the alien tale. I took it a different direction.
Okay.
To say the least.
Let's do it.
I have for you the legend of the Krasue.
Okay.
Or Krasue. I'm unsure how to say it. I'll say it both ways.
Okay.
This legend, it comes from Southwest Asian folklore, most specifically Thailand. And I chose this story actually because I was looking, and we have a lot more followers in Thailand recently. So shout out to you guys. Love you. So yeah, let's get right on into this story. So the Krasue, which is also called the Pai Krasue, it is a spirit that haunts most of Southwest Asia. It's also the subject of a lot of movies and films, all that stuff. Very, very, very well known throughout Thailand. In fact, generally speaking anyway, it's really said that any woman can become a Krasue.
Wait, what? I'm scared now.
So just keep that in mind when I tell you this story. Let's get into what the Krasue might look like, okay?
Ooh.
They are described as delightfully gory. Yummy.
Wait, I don't like that.
Yummy.
How is that? How are those two words in the same sentence?
When I describe it to you, you're not, I don't know. Well, I can tell you why, but you're going to be like, no.
Okay.
So they are actually said to be a floating head with entrails and internal organs dangling from the neck.
No.
And the reason why it's called delightfully gory is because obviously the gore is coming from the internal organs, but the delightful part is actually because the head is said to be a very beautiful, very attractive young woman.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
Yeah. So it's also said there is a glow around them, like an aura almost, but visible.
Okay.
So spooky. They are even said to have fangs, like a vampire. And so how this works, they are similar to vampires in a lot of ways. They have fangs, for one, obviously. And they are nocturnal. So, they're out in the nighttime. And how that actually works, you may ask, because they are a floating head, right? We can't ignore the fact, this is a floating head.
Yeah.
So I know it's a little bit unbelievable, but just, hear me out. So during the day, the Krasue is said to look like a normal person. Okay. You would never be able to tell the difference between me or if the Krasue version of me. You would never know.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. If it was during the day, anyway.
Right.
But at night, when it is becoming night, the Krasue will actually separate itself from their body.
Oh my god.
And so they will leave the bottom half of their body somewhere hidden and safe.
No.
And then their head and their entrails will be floating around in the night.
No, I hate that. That's horrible.
Yeah. And so what are they doing in the night, Savannah? What could they be doing?
What are they doing?
Well, much like vampires, they're hungry. And so at night, they take their little organs and their heads and they float around, wandering around, looking for people to eat.
Oh my god.
The fresher the flesh, the better.
How are they going to eat?
Well, they have a mouth.
They got a stomach?
That's why they're so hungry.
Where does it go?
It just falls out. That they're starving.
No way.
They're starving. They're starving,
insane.
But they can't keep it in. Yeah.
So it's all for nothing then.
Yeah, but you can't tell them that, really.
They eat someone and then it's literally for nothing.
They're hungry, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. So overall, the Krasue are said to be it's a nocturnal female spirit who wanders aimlessly in the night in search of victims to feed on.
Oh my god.
Great. Ugh. So yeah, it's known as a very malevolent spirit that's driven by hunger and thirst.
Oh my god.
And of course, it only travels at night. Now, it does eat humans, obviously, I already said that, but it also eats cows. So, maybe if there's a cow nearby, maybe you could be safe if you saw it. Okay. Yeah, but their favorite meal is actually much worse.
Oh, no.
Their favorite food is actually pregnant women or women who just gave birth.
What?
They
want the...
I guess, the birth, the pregnancy and the birth hormones, it just tastes better to them. Apologies if you're pregnant out there. This is dark and this is horrible.
It is. Oh my god.
But that's what they say. I guess they taste better. And so that's her favorite food. And yeah. So it's said that these creatures, they have a very strong sense of smell that allows them to track their victims with ease. So maybe they like smell the baby. They're like fresh blood.
Yeah. Oh my god. So they don't necessarily go after the baby though, but they're like
the mom. Yeah. But like if the mom is gone and the it ain't good. No. And so
this story, I didn't know what this was gonna be, but I did not expect this. Like, dang, what?
No warning. Just mystery? We're all
where
in.
did this even come from? Like, who?
Thailand.
No, I know, but like.
Well, yeah, we have the backstory.
Okay.
Oh, we have
the backstory.
Boy, do we have the backstory. Okay. Yes, we do. But before we get into that, so even if you are somehow like safe from like seeing the spirit, like you don't ever see her around, you're not totally safe.
You're not actually safe
if you're in Thailand. So, obviously people wash and dry their clothes outside, hang them up on the line. Okay. Obviously, people do laundry, and so when and if the Krasue is around, it's said that they will actually use laundry that's like hanging up on lines as napkins for wiping their mouth.
Oh no, so they're just bloody.
So yeah, people will come and they have cleaned all their clothes and they're drying overnight, and then in the morning they wake up to get it and it's covered in blood, ripped down everywhere. No. Like imagine if that happened to you. I would be so mad.
Right, because then you gotta wash them again.
or they're like destroyed.
Yeah.
Like permanently. Yeah. It's just horrible. I know. So you're really not safe anywhere from this thing. Or your clothes. So let's get into how the legend of the Krasue originated. There are two stories, two different versions. So I'll tell you both of them. The first is a story of a princess from a really long time ago. It said that she fell in love with a man of lower status in the community. It always happens. It's the typical fairy tale. The rich princess falls in love with the poor boy. Yeah. And her family's like, no, he's poor. And obviously she's a princess, so her family had already set her up with this man.
Yes.
And so the man that she was set up with from her family, he was like a Siamese nobleman. So he was rich. And eventually he actually, like, she was kind of leading him on. But like still, because I mean, she didn't have a choice. She had to.
Right.
Because of her family.
Right.
But she was still seeing the poor boy that she loved. And eventually her fiance found out about the other man. And, he unfortunately sent her to be executed. There was no way to say that. I was like, is there a way for me to even...
I thought he was going to punish him. Punishes her.
Right. You would think, but no, her.
Which, I mean,
I'm not saying he's right. Actually, I'm saying he's definitely not right. But at least he didn't go after the other woman, quote unquote. That's what they would call them today, I know. But like, he couldn't have been like, ooh, boo, bad. Instead, he was like, kill her.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like, sorry, she fell in love with somebody. Like, oh, goodness.
I mean, she's a cheater.
They weren't married. To be fair, they weren't married. I just have to be on this girl's side, honestly, because she was burned at the stake. Yeah, and so, that's at least, what he was, that's what he said. He was like, we got to execute her now, and she has to be burned at the stake. So that's what I'm saying. He gets no remorse from me. Like, he's no better than her at all.
Yeah.
And so, the night before the execution, the princess was like, okay, I have to try to live, I have to try to do something. So her only idea that she kind of had was getting in touch with a powerful witch in the community that she lived in. She was like, I guess I gotta have to go talk to her. And she was like, hello, powerful witch, can you please give me a spell to protect me from the flames? Please. Because I'm about to burn. And, she was like, I'm about to burn. The witch is going to help me, obviously. So right, girl.
Yeah.
Genius move. Yeah. Can't lie. Yeah. But unfortunately, the witch was like, yes, spell on her. But unfortunately, the spell didn't fully take, like, hold in time. So what happened was, obviously, they found her, and the witch cast a spell on her, and she was like, go home, try to hide. She couldn't hide. She got found, and they took her and obviously started burning her. It's really dark. So they set her on fire, and she's burning. And then as she's burning up her body, the spell starts to take place. It starts to hold. So the fire's like up to like, you know, her torso.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's said that she is like a head and like entrails, because like half of her body was burned, but the other half was protected by the spell.
Oh my God. So the part that was protected by the spell is what's haunted. Survived.
Yeah, is what is now haunting Thailand today.
Oh no.
Yes. And so it's like just a horrible story. That one is. Both of them are bad. Update, in case you were curious. Neither one are good.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, yeah. So that's the first version of why.
Oh God. Okay. The second one.
The second one is, I mean, I can't lie. It is similar. The second version is about this woman who herself was experimenting with magic. She herself was a witch.
Okay.
And she unfortunately was a new witch. Unfortunately, similar to me and Savannah. So we got to be careful with these tarot cards, okay?
Okay.
Because what happened with this young witch, she made a mistake when she was casting a spell and accidentally cursed herself. And the curse, she was trying, I don't know what she was trying to do. I think she was like a love spell. Instead of love, she cursed herself to separate from her own body every night until morning came again.
Literally, how can you mess up that badly?
I guess, you know, she was trying to bring somebody in. She did the opposite. She ripped herself apart.
Oh, no.
So,
damn.
I feel like, you know, be careful with the magic out there, guys. But yeah, so that tale eventually became an urban legend, and that was actually used to keep people from practicing witchcraft. They're like, don't do any spells.
Because, you know, you might do it wrong.
Yeah. And then you'll be a Krasue. And so that's why they do say any woman, because obviously men can't be witches, guys.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That is actually why they say that. Because obviously only women can be witches. So that's why any woman can theoretically become a Krasue if you do magic wrong. Or if somebody does magic wrong on you. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's urban legend.
It's just anti-magic, anti-witch.
Women.
Propaganda.
Yeah. Anti-women, anti-witch, anti-magic propaganda for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that legend, they did say if you practiced witchcraft, not only were you yourself at high risk of, you know, becoming a Krasue, but also your whole family line, your daughters, your granddaughters, your great-granddaughters, they'll all be Krasue.
What?
Don't practice witchcraft. That's what they say. That's what they say. Not me. That's just them. That's them.
Mm-mm. Witchcraft's coming back.
It is. So, guys, be careful. Don't turn yourself into a Krasue. Anyway, like many other nocturnal creatures, the Krasue cannot tolerate sunlight, or else they will burn. And it, you know, obviously, just also kind of like makes sense. If they don't get back to their body by the time the sun is up, they will also burn.
Okay.
So, you know, they kind of have to make sure they're back in the body before the sun is up, or they are screwed. So, one surefire way to survive a Krasue, if you ever come across one, you have to wait it out until the sun comes up. No big deal. No big deal.
That's like with all creatures. Yeah. It's like with vampires and like
that's it.
That's maybe that's it. Okay, yeah, it's similar to vampires then.
Yeah, you just gotta wait it out. But it's also said that they are afraid of spiky objects. And do you want to know why? It's not funny. I should not be laughing.
Why?
Because they're scared that their organs will get caught on this and then ripped out. I'm gonna throw up. Anyway, moving on. The only other way you can defeat a Krasue, Savannah, that you like wouldn't be like you confronting it or running away from it,
right?
Would be you got to think ahead of the Krasue. You got to go find the rest of its body, destroy it, light it on fire, kill it, burn it, whatever. Get rid of the other half of the body, and then the head will bye. So, if you can't outrun it, outsmart it, I guess. Go find the body. So, yeah.
See, and that, for the creature itself, the Krasue, it, like, sucks for them because they obviously can't be that far away from their body while because they have to get back to it. But then it's like, okay, if you're going to fight it off, you go to the body and it's obviously going to be close by. So,
yeah, you're near it regardless.
You know?
It's not, it's not great.
Yeah, there's no winning for it because it's like...
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, no matter what, if you are dealing with a Krasue, there's no easy method to escape. It's going to be hard.
Well, yeah. There's no easy method to escape, but it will be semi-easy to find the body.
You say that, but, like, imagine even hide and seek. Because, like...
I guess...
If you're thinking, like...
So I'm thinking that they are sleeping in bed and they just get up.
Oh, no. Oh, no. See, think if you're the Krasue. Like, even if we're imagining Savannah as the Krasue right now in this house... You could just hide your body in this house somewhere.
Yeah.
I would say, not to give your hiding spots away, but I would say under the house. Like, think about how many houses. You'd have to search all the houses. Like, if the Krasue was here, if you were her.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody was trying to escape you, there would be, like, it would take forever.
I guess you're right.
Unless they're bad hiders. I guess I can't attest to that. If they're not good at hiding, then maybe we can find them fast.
Yeah.
But it's kind of their whole life, so I would hope that they're a little bit good.
Yeah.
Not that I'm on the Krasue side. I don't know. Anyway. So...
I mean, I'm kind of on her side just because she was a witch.
She was so wrong. But... She was so wrong from the beginning. Like, yeah. You're right. But, like, I'm not for the torture today.
No, you're right.
The eating pregnant women. Girl, calm down.
Yeah, no. We're not about that.
I think the craziest part about this story, though, there have been sightings documented literally up to 2024.
I don't know about the sightings.
On October 12th, 2024, around 11 p.m., a 37-year-old man was guarding his cattle in a hut in a village in the Buriram province. And he noticed a light floating above a pond not too far from him. Okay. At first, he thought it was just, some sort of creature, a drone, something, anything really, that's flying around until it started moving closer to him.
Oh my God.
It's getting closer and closer and closer. He's just chilling in this hut with his cows.
Yeah.
And when it got close enough, he could finally make out that this was actually not a light, not a drone. It was a floating head with entrails coming out the bottom. Okay. There is allegedly a video of this. He did get it on video, allegedly. I really could not specifically find it. I found some, but obviously, like, they're just, like, popcorn, grainy, can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
But the only evidence I have to support this man's claim from 2024 is that he was proven to not be on drugs or alcohol.
Okay.
So that's a pro for him.
I guess. Yeah.
I suppose. But, yeah. So, we don't really know if we can or cannot believe him. But it's not just his story. People have claimed to see the Krasue, like, every month, every year of all time. Okay. Today, 2023. His story, everybody's story is like this. Everybody always thinks that it's a light or a drone or something.
Yeah.
Something in the sky, it looks like a light. And then it's not actually a light. It's her head. In Thailand. And all over Southwest Asia. Not just Thailand, but just mostly in Thailand. So, and I will say, Thailand is such on, like, number 1, number 2 of my travel list. And this story...
You want to go and see one?
No, this story made me be like, okay, if I saw that, I don't know what I would do. I always say I want to see a ghost. Like, any ghost, let me see. Right. I don't want to see the Krasue, okay?
Yeah. This, I don't even know if I would categorize it as a ghost. Like, I guess, but also, it's a man-eating creature, like...
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Regular ghosts aren't, so...
You're right. That's just what they call it. I guess there's really no word for what this is. It is
kind of a ghost, but also kind of not, so I don't...
You're right.
I don't know.
Who's to say? I don't know. But that...
Definitely ghostly qualities.
Definitely ghostly qualities. The one thing that I can tell you is that I do not want to become a Krasue, okay?
No.
No. So I will, if I practice magic, I'll be very careful with how I'm doing it, okay? I promise. Not turning into one.
Okay.
No. But yeah, that is the legend of the Krasue.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's very disturbing. Very disturbing. I actually wasn't even anticipating it being like that. And then it was, and I was like, oh, Savannah's going to like this one.
I know. I don't really like the gory stuff. But
I wasn't anticipating it.
But that one...
Fits well with the Final Destination theme, though.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Not even on purpose. No. Crazy.
Huh.
Definitely Be sure to check out our Instagram. There are some horrible renditions. And by horrible, I mean they're great renditions, but like so scary renditions of the Krasue. And obviously we'll have to be posting this James Webb.
I'll post a picture of the telescope so you can see that.
Crazy.
Very, very different stories today, guys.
Completely different stories. But
very different.
If you are from that planet out there, please let me know. If somebody has any way of contacting them, let me know. We got to get to them.
Yeah.
I want to be the first interview.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, I don't know what language you speak, but I'll learn it. Just let me know. This is my call to them. I don't think
it's going to be any language that we speak on Earth, so.
Yeah, but like, we figured out way harder things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could figure it out.
Yeah, we definitely can. And you know what? Actually, I know how we can figure it out. I have the solution.
What?
Because music is the universal language.
Okay.
So we just sing to them.
Oh my
Sing to me, Paolo.
They're going to be like, what is going on?
No, I feel like they'll be like, a show?
What if they don't have music on their world?
That's not possible.
It could be.
I don't think it's possible. Personally, I don't think it's possible.
Okay, what if they only have microscopic
you're right. If they are phytoplankton?
Yeah, it's just phytoplankton.
If they're phytoplankton, they're like the jellyfish and SpongeBob.
It's just,
Yep, that's
it's literally just them.
Honestly,
it's just phytoplankton and algae.
If it's just phytoplankton and algae, then I know they're having dance parties down there to some music.
And a handful of jellyfish.
Of course, gotta have them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I guess we'll find out eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll keep our tabs on that.
Updates to come, hopefully.
Yeah,
for sure. Hopefully, we'll find out some more stuff. Obviously, they built this giant telescope. They're gonna have to use it more.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So I guess part 2 coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. But
other than that, I don't really have anything else for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, well, I guess we will see you guys next week.
Okay, cue the music.